The room is quiet, deceptively so. The silence is a thick blanket, heavy with unspoken words. You sit in a crooked armchair, its fabric worn thin, much like your patience. You're replaying the conversation. Again, the words were simple, almost sweet, but they left a bitter aftertaste, a faint poison you can't quite identify. Why do you feel so hollow, so wrong-footed? As if the very floorboards of your reality have been pried loose, one by one. This feeling is not an accident. It's a design. A carefully constructed emotional maze with you at its center, and no clear exit. What you're experiencing is a fracture of your frame. Your frame is your perception of reality, your beliefs, your confidence, your sense of self. It is the psychological house you live in. And she has found the load-bearing walls. She doesn't use a sledgehammer. No, her tools are far more subtle. She uses words, phrases that sound innocent, even caring. But they are meticulously crafted keys designed to unlock your doubts and let the chaos in. These are not slips of the tongue. This is psychology, a quiet, brutal art of control. Let's unmask the first weapon. Phrase number 1, you're overthinking it. You bring up something that bothers you, a concern, an insecurity. You're vulnerable. You've opened the door to your thoughts, seeking connection. Her response, you're overthinking it, is not reassurance. It's a slammed door. It's a judgment. She isn't just dismissing your concern, she's pathologizing your mind. The implication is clear. The problem isn't the situation. The problem is you. Your mind is faulty. Your perceptions are unreliable. Repeat this enough times, and you start to believe it. You stop trusting your own intuition. Her voice becomes the arbiter of reality. Your frame begins to crack. The second phrase is a masterpiece of emotional blackmail. If you really loved me, you would fill in the blank. You would quit that hobby. But you would stop seeing that friend. You would give me what I want, no questions asked. This isn't a request, it's a test. A test you are designed to fail. It weaponizes your love, turning it into a currency for her control. If you comply, you sacrifice a piece of yourself on the altar of her approval. You prove your love by diminishing your own world. If you refuse, you are proven unloving, selfish, defective. It's a perfect trap. Either way, your frame is weakened. You are either a servant or a villain in the story she writes. Now for the third, the gaslighter's favorite shield. I was just joking. She says something cruel. A jab at your appearance, your ambition, your deepest insecurity. It's a pinprick aimed directly at your ego. You react. You show you're hurt. And then comes the shield. I was just joking. Can't you take a joke? Suddenly, the focus is no longer on her cruelty. It's on your overreaction. You are framed as humorless, overly sensitive, weak. The truth is, it was never a joke. It was a test. A probe to see how much you would tolerate. By laughing it off, you teach her she can go further next time. You learn to swallow the pain. You wear a smiling mask over your own wound. Your authentic emotional response is invalidated and buried. The fourth phrase is the minimizer's hammer. It's not a big deal. This one is used to shut down any conversation she doesn't want to have. You caught her in a lie. You pointed out a broken promise. You expressed a need that inconveniences her. By declaring it's not a big deal, she unilaterally decides the emotional significance of an event. She is telling you that your feelings are disproportionate and therefore invalid. It doesn't matter that it is a big deal to you. Your reality is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is her narrative, where her actions have no negative consequences. This is a profound fracturing of your frame. It teaches you that your standards are too high, your needs are too much. You learn to expect less, to want less, to be less. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most insidious phrase, fine, do whatever you want. These are not words of permission. They are words of punishment. It's the illusion of freedom, offered with the silent threat of withdrawal, disapproval, and future retribution. You wanted to go out with your friends. You wanted to pursue a personal goal. You won a minor disagreement. And you are met with this verbal retreat. She is not giving you freedom. She is loading you with guilt. The unspoken second half of that sentence is, "And see what happens. And see how much I make you pay for it later." So you don't do what you want. You capitulate. You apologize for winning. You abandon your plans to restore the peace. Her passive aggression has triumphed. Your frame is not just fractured, it's rewired. You learn that your autonomy is a source of conflict. Your independence is a threat to the relationship. It's easier not to want things. You see it now, don't you? The pattern. The deliberate, systematic erosion of your reality. These 5 phrases are the architect's tools, slowly dismantling your sense of self. You are not overthinking. You are feeling. You are not unloving. You are protecting your boundaries. You are not humorless. You were being targeted. Your feelings were not no big deal. They were your internal compass. And your freedom was not a gift to be given, but your birthright. The truth is, a person who respects you wants to understand your thoughts, not dismiss them. They see your love as a bond, not a lever. They share in your humor. They don't use it as a weapon. They acknowledge your feelings, even if they don't agree. And they celebrate your freedom, because your growth is not a threat to them. Recognizing these phrases is the first step. It is the moment the puppet looks up and, for the first time, sees the strings. The next step is to reclaim your frame. When she says, "You're overthinking it," you respond, "Perhaps, but I'd still like to talk about it." You hold your ground. You honor your perception. This is not about winning an argument. It is about refusing to lose yourself. The silence may be heavy now, but this is the weight of truth, not the suffocating blanket of manipulation.